Hello, welcome to Flower Juice. My name's John McDonald, and today we're going to look at creating a wreath or something that you could use for a funeral or for going at a grave for remembrance, but not using foam. So this is really a big thing that's quite current at the moment, is the use of foam and the fact that it doesn't disappear. So even some of the bio ones are coming onto the market. They're not quite there yet with total eco credentials. So what could we use instead? So this is one option that we've seen, and this is basically a preformed base that's made out of cardboard. So this has been really hard compressed, and it gives us like an eco frame that we could do something in. Now, it would be a bit ironic if I was to put some floral foam in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this for plants. Now, I don't mind this actually. I think this looks okay, but what I'd like to do is put a little bit of a decor around it. So I've got this hessian ribbon, and we're just going to put that around and tie it. So I think the whole beauty of this is actually the fact that it's a little bit rough and ready, and it's not looking so commercial. It looks more homemade, more organic, less formal actually, which is quite nice. So I think sometimes people, maybe the person you're making flowers for or to remember them, they're maybe more the type of person who loved their garden. Well, if that's the case, then they would have loved to receive something like this. So I'm just going to tie that into a bow, and we can just trim that off. So we've got a nice bow there. Now, there's quite a good depth here, and I think really this is the idea with this, is that you can create this with flowers and plants. So I've got a range of different plants, and what I want to do is just put in the taller ones first. So I've got some narcissus, I've got some herbs actually, because potentially this is something that could sit and last for a long time. So maybe the herbs and that would be able to last. Now this is interesting because these ones have actually come in an eco pot as well. So it is looking really good that we're starting to see these products come down and become available. So I'm just going to slip that out. So because these are our kind of stronger points, we're going to put these in first. Now don't worry if your bulbs kind of split or move around. Once we add other things in, then we're going to find that that's going to help hold these. So if we've got something tall, then we want to go a little bit low next to it. So I've got some soil, and we're going to put a little bit of soil in. The only problem is if you're creating something like this is it gets a bit messy. I'm not going to lie. I've got some little sedums. So what we want to do is we want to get things to the edge, and we want to create some interest and some different style. So we can take off a little bit of soil with some things. It's fine. So we can reduce the volume within that. So now you can buy plants in lots of different sizes and different sizes of container, and I would say you probably want to go for ones that are quite mixed. So a few bigger plants as your focal, and then really for the others go for some smaller ones. So what I've got there is I've got some nice ivy at the back, just to give us a little bit of texture and also a little bit of change of shape. Now we're going to just pop another one of those in there. These are maybe a little bit on the big side, but that's okay. We can just loosen the soil. It helps if you are doing this that you give everything a water in advance. It'll be so much easier to sort out the soil if you do that. And straight away, just touching that, I'm starting to get a beautiful smell. Now again, we're just going to want to bring in a little ivy just to help create that change in height. Now I did have a little hyacinth, and I can't resist putting him in because he's so cute and he really just gives a little punch of colour. And again, a sedum. So what I can do is put those together back to back and then push them in. So we're creating something here that's like a little garden. This is a little euonymus. So again, this is a type of plant that will last and be able to be kept. And another type of sedum that we've got as well. So as you can see, by putting in our 3 narcissus first, we've got them nicely spaced. And this is really the problem, is if you kind of working your way around, you might get to a certain point where you realise actually they're not nicely spaced and it looks a bit odd. Okay, so I'm just removing a little bit of soil from this one. And again, we can just pop that in. And that fits quite well. Now, the only thing with the daffodils and the bulbs is that they will go over at some point. And that's a shame, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's no reason why you can't have something that is a little bit seasonal, but then you can put in elements that are going to last longer. So we've popped our plants in and everything's actually fitting really well. So they've actually designed this quite well, that it's kind of the width of those plants, or generally the width of plants. So what I'm going to do now is just go around and put a little bit of moss onto the surface. And that's just to give us a little bit of decor. And just really to tidy it up. Now let's just make a little bit of a tidy here. So. So I think this would be quite interesting. It would be interesting to see what customers think and what this would perform like. But I think there is a potential here that this could be done in different ways. So what we've done is we've created an arrangement that's actually a planted arrangement. But there's no reason why this couldn't maybe be done in other ways. Or if you do it with different plants, you're going to get different effects. So there's no reason why we couldn't even have done this with cactuses. The options are really, quite interesting. So this could be all herbs, all cactuses, could even be done for being indoors as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. We've looked at how could we make something that would be suitable as a wreath that basically doesn't use any foam. And I think this product works. It's quite interesting to see. So thank you for watching. If you want to keep up to date with all our videos, then click here to subscribe, and we hope to see you soon.